So I have a Pacific cart here, and I am going to attempt to adjust the axle. So they have this little ingenious design here. We actually have a pivot point here. We've got a lock nut that I removed, and then the leaf spring actually braces on there, and I'm loosening them up, and then we're going to see about lowering this cart a couple inches. You have a full range that you can actually do with this. You can drop it just a couple inches, or you can actually flip the axle above the baseboard here and have it sit in that position. But here I think we're just going to try and drop it a couple degrees. I'm going to see if we can get this axle maybe more in, you can see my hand here, so from this position here possibly more to here, and we're going to see how that works for the horse. And if it's still too tall, we'll see about dropping it lower. But this is the start of it. We have removed the nut that's on top. We have loosened these nuts that are holding the parts of the leaf spring together, and hopefully that will allow me to move this thing around. Alright, I think I'm going to have to undo another bolt here, this one, because I suspect at this point that, let me get this through there, we have this piece. It appears that these hold it in, it appears that these hold it in a brace, but we've got this piece here that's holding it solid. So this loosening probably isn't what we actually need. We need our lock nut off, which we got, and then we're going to need to remove this here so that we can take this piece, slide it off, slide it completely off, and then slide it on in the position that we desire. So that's the next step. So what we've done here is we retightened all these bolts. We still have our little lock nut out of there. We are gonna get a hammer and tamp this off. We have undone the bolt that connects it to the axle. I have left there's a little, see that? There's a little wire cable there that screws on underneath. I'm on the hay bale, or straw bale. But anyway, so this is now disconnected. I am using a lovely paint can to prop up the body of the cart so I can hopefully get this spring off and adjust it. I am going to leave the other spring on for the moment, so we've got 2 points of contact, the paint can and the other spring. We're going to get this one in position, and then we're going to move the other one. I just want to show this right here. You see we've made progress. We're just taking this little hammer and tamping, going a little bit down here, a little bit up here. You can see it making progress. I would like to get a wood block and set it here, but I've got this sanding block, which I'm not sure how much it's helping me, but saves the cart a little bit. So you don't need to see me beat this thing, but here we go. So you can see this is what it looks like when we pull that off. There's a centerpiece, and you can see where the old mark was for the lock piece. So it sits in there and it helps hold it down. These teeth are really holding it together, so you don't have to worry about it sliding around on you. As you saw, I used the hammer to dislodge it, but there it is taken apart. And here's this piece, and now it's figuring out how to line it up with where I want it. So what I'm going to do is, there's my angle difference here. You can see even just that little bit makes a fair difference. Here, let me pull this back here a little bit. You can see the far axle, which I have not removed yet. It's resting, or this, I'm trying to get out of there. The spring is resting on the axle is on the straw bale, and then just that little bit of rotation here, you can see I've got now almost probably close to a 4-inch gap. So now the trick, that little bit of adjustment over here from, this point here down to this point here has made that difference. And now the trick is lining it up exactly the same